As we explore the incredible range of health resources across the Garden State, it's become clear that even our full length monthly episodes of Healthy in the Garden State can't capture it all. That's where this Dose of Health mini series comes in. Every 2 weeks, we'll introduce you to inspiring individuals working to improve the physical, mental, and emotional well being of New Jersey residents. In each brief conversation, they'll share practical tips, personal insights, and how you can connect with them to learn more. I'm your host, Kate Chericello-Tente, and I'm thrilled to bring you these individuals creating positive change in our communities. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube at Healthy in the Garden State to catch every new release, and visit healthyinthegardenstate.com for even more health-forward resources. Dr. Sean Inselberg is the founder of the Nutrition and Acupuncture Wellness Center in Palmyra, New Jersey, and my guest today here on A Dose of Health. He is a board-certified nutrition specialist, the highest certification in the field, has a doctorate's degree in acupuncture and a master's in human nutrition. At Nutrition and Acupuncture Wellness Center, they strive to identify the root cause of a patient's issues, which often leads to more sustainable, positive health outcomes. Dr. Sean, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, I really appreciate all that you do, and the Nutrition Acupuncture Wellness Center encompasses a lot. So how do you explain to people what you do? And the reason I ask it like that is sometimes with some of these what are often called as alternative medicines, people do a little bit of a what does that mean? So how do you explain it?
So this field has really turned into quite a lot of modalities, right? So you have energy healing, you have functional medicine, you have nutritionists, right? And in each one, there's 10 different types of nutritionists, right? There's dietitians, there's nutritionists that do functional medicine. So I think there's a lot of confusion in the field as to what a person might do or what the expectation might be as to how they can be helped. And I think the biggest thing is, and what we do, and I've kind of catered this a lot towards my own self, is that I was stuck in the current medical model. I had a lot of health issues, which led me to where I am today, which gives me the ability to help people with the most chronic issues. It's so powerful when you learn what's going on at the deeper layers in the body. So we look heavily at biochemistry and not just looking at the blood and saying, are you in range or out of range? What is optimal for you, right? So when you have a lot of these gurus online that are selling their vitamins or products, they're telling you maybe something that helped them to get well. Like, there's these doctors on you got to avoid lectins, or you need to avoid nightshades, or you need to avoid nuts or seeds. And you can go crazy, right? As human beings, we're the only animal on this planet. We don't know what to eat. Do I do carbs? Is gluten bad? Is bread bad? Well, people ate bread for thousands of years and they didn't have a problem. Now we have celiacs. Now we have what is really going on, right? So we really dive deep into all of that, and we cater each person specifically what their body needs, right? So, and then we look at, a lot of people say, I do holistic medicine. What is holistic medicine? It's really encompassing the body, mind, and spirit. You need to look at the whole person these days to really dive deep and get them well. So when we look at, well, what is this field, or what is it that we do, or how do I explain that to people? I'm looking deep at biochemical markers, optimal levels for you. So I'm going to look at all of your blood work, everything. And I'm going to add a lot of things to the labs that most modern doctors never look at. When you get blood work done, you can maybe get a basic metabolic panel. I recommend comprehensive metabolic panel. We want to look deep at kidney function, liver function. And we look at the big picture. What diseases do most Americans head towards? How many people have diabetes and have complications from that? How many people, which leading cause of death is heart disease, heart attack, stroke, cancer, all these things, which our country, right, is such an advanced country, but our medical system is so poor, right? What's our infant mortality rate? It's horrible, right? So there's so many factors that play a role. We look at all of them, and we don't just treat one person. We treat the whole family. We do prenatal care. We treat infants here. We have remedies. If your child is sick, we do urgent care. We do holistic urgent care, right? If you get COVID or any of these, whatever's going on these days, right? We have an answer for that. And we do it in such a natural way that we support your body's own innate immune system and function, and we're able to get you to such a better place. And this has been life changing and transforming for me because I was deathly ill. I was out of work over 2 years. I had chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. I was in bed sleeping till 4 p.m. every day. I was on all kinds of medications. I got off all my medications. I mean, I was on everything. I had insomnia, I had anxiety, I had depression. And, they have a pill for all this stuff, right? And I'm not saying sometimes people don't need an intervention and don't need that maybe to save their life and get them to a place of, some kind of, calmness, right? But it's not the answer to stay on that. The answer is fix the neurotransmitters, fix your gut, right? Where all this stuff is being produced, fix your diet, get the support you need for your stress. All right. So I got off all my medications in 2005. I was on, I mean, I can go through that whole list: Paxil, Ambien, Wellbutrin, all this. The list goes on, right? And then you get the one for the anxiety, but now you get more depression, right? Or you get everything has a side effect. When you put something in the body that forces your body to do something it's not able to do, the consequences are severe, right? And over time, if you look at all, no one reads the insert. Oh, this one can cause kidney disease. This one, and then how many of these, new things that are on the market haven't really been studied, right, in human population, or we tested it in a mice or rat model or something, and but things haven't been tested long enough, and we don't know the damage that a lot of these medications can cause, right? And I'm seeing such a big change with neurodegenerative diseases. I've been doing this 16 years. A decade ago, I never had a Parkinson's patient. I never had an Alzheimer's patient. And cancer was it wasn't as much as it is now. Now it's like every fifth patient has had cancer or has it. It's a big problem. So I know I just went on a rampage there talking,
No,
but
Believe, believe me, this is a topic that I could talk about for hours with you. And so it's all I can do to keep this to 15 minutes today for sure. And I appreciate your passion so much. I'm curious, though, before we move on, how did you go from being so sick to learning about this field? Like, was there a person that you met? Did you just explore the internet? Like, how did you find it?
I'm the most relentless, determined, motivated person that you will ever meet. I'm a hard worker. I'm just like, so when I have a patient here and they have an issue, in my mind, I'm going to do everything to get them well. And I just put that approach in everything I do in life. And, it was a struggle, but yes, I searched online. I mean, I read books, I tried everything, and I just wasn't, there was a barrier there, and I didn't know what it was. So I tried everything. I tried medicine. I tried acupuncture, and I started getting into qigong, and I started doing, trying to do meditation, which was very hard for an ADD type of person like myself. Back then, I couldn't even sit still. Now I can sit still for hours now, right? Because I fixed my body and I worked on my mind. Some of the game changers were, and I had one of my mentors, which I met 2005, 2006, and he changed my life. His name is Dr. Carl Weiss. He's retired. He's out of Philadelphia. Amazing man. He's a genius. He went to MIT. He's an engineer. Then he went back to school. I believe he went to Palmer Chiropractic, became a chiropractor, really wanted to help people. But his mind worked in such a way, right? He knew engineering. He knew how to figure things out. And when I came into him, I came in for, adjustments. I had back pain and neck pain. I'm like, fix my back, right? Crack my neck and back. Give me some nutrition to make me feel better. He said, you have a lot of emotions going on in your body that are keeping you ill, right? And I was a little resistant to that. Oh, I don't want to look at my emotions and confront all that, right? But there was a lot there. So he started doing a technique on me, which I later went and got training in, called NET, Neuro Emotional Technique. It is a game changer, lifesaver. And that helped me get to the next level because honestly, like changing my diet and doing nutrition and all this stuff helped me very minimally. What got me through is dealing with deep-seated emotional things, traumas and things from childhood, and all this stuff that I've been through that my body was holding on to. Right? There's all these great books out there, like The Body Keeps the Score and The Body Doesn't Lie. Like your body and your tissues and your cells hold this stuff, and it knows, it knows what's going on in the deeper layers. Like intuitively, we know there's something there. And in Chinese medicine, anger, frustration attacks the liver. Fear affects the kidneys, the bladder channel. Worry, pensiveness affects the spleen. And then you see these patterns in Chinese medicine, which I look deeply at, where a lot of people that worry a lot, they start getting this thing called spleen qi deficiency, and then they start getting muscle weakness, and then they have digestion problems and bloating, and it all can be traced to the way we think. Our thoughts and our mind it's always going to overpower any nutrition or food or anything we do. Getting the mind right is number one. And we heavily do things here in the office to rebalance the whole nervous system, right? We live deep at sympathetic, parasympathetic. Most people are in sympathetic drive, right? That gas pedals down, they got places to be and things to do, and life's just coming at them, and it's just chaos, right? It's chaos. But the reality is, it doesn't matter what's happening around you. It matters what's happening inside of you. And if you can't process life and get a balance between all this chaos, you're going to be the effect of everything that happens to you. So we work on getting you more causative over your environment, over your feelings, over your emotions, and clearing all that stuff out that's in your mind affecting you physically, right? The psychosomatic stuff. A lot of people come in with deep aches and pains. We trace that to emotions. When we clear the emotions, now they don't need a cane anymore. Their knees better. They can go up the steps and not feel. It's just amazing the things that we do here. It's like miracle type stuff every day.
And I have to explain real quick, like why I am so much a fan and supporter of acupuncture and all of this, because I had a concussion over 10 years ago now, and I had no idea what to do. I had never been introduced to this world of concussions and head injury, and the ER doctor said, okay, it was like a Saturday morning when I finally went to the ER 4 days later, because I said, what's going on? Something's wrong. And he said, yes, you have a concussion, but you're good to teach spin on Monday morning back in the city. And I tried to push through, because I was like, well, the doctor said I should. And that's the only direction I got. Well, it was take it easy, but you can still go back to work and teach fitness. And it wasn't until 3 months later that I talked to an acupuncturist by chance, someone I worked with who had just finished acupuncture school as she was changing careers. And she said, did you try acupuncture? Like, let's try this. I walked out of that first session a completely different person. I walked in that brain fog that comes from a concussion. All my words were stumbling, and this had gone on for 3 months. And in that one session, it was like the fog had been lifted. And since then, I've gone unfortunately, I had another concussion, right back to acupuncture, and again, got me right back. And for various issues over the years, it's incredible. And I'm so glad that people like you are out there and making this more and more available to people. And just, there's so many, like, I didn't even know some of the things that were listed on your website that you do. And I'm like, wow, I need to research these. Like you were talking about NET. It's incredible. And how do you get people to find out about you and find out about this side of medicine?
Well, I'd say the biggest thing has been over, a decade and a half is word of mouth, right? When people come in here and they've had a dead end with the care that they've been getting, whether that's seeing someone in the holistic world or the modern medicine model, it just doesn't address the root cause of what's going on with the
Yes.
person. There's not really a prevention model in place for people,
Yes.
right? So it's just a matter of basically people, they get their blood work monitored until oh, sorry, you have diabetes, or sorry, you have heart disease. But in our medicine here, we're seeing, a decade or more, we can see this person's heading in that direction, and we can fix that right away. So people they trust us. They send us their friends and their family, the people they love the most, because they want them to be well. They want them to experience longevity and wellness. And it's amazing to go through like the flu season and all this, and not get sick. It's amazing when you don't have allergies anymore. I used to have allergies, asthma all the time. I couldn't be around fresh cut grass or a lot of pollen. Now I can go out there and just breathe it all in, no reaction. I can be around cats, and I have cats and dogs. I have no allergies now. right? So why? So we look at all those things, and it's amazing. But when you clear those things up for a person and change their life, they want to tell their friends and family.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's the biggest outlet for us. Yes, we do all these other things, right? We have a website, and we have, we're working on the social media, and so we get a few people here and there from that. But there's really nothing like a heartfelt story from a loved one to say, you got to go see this guy, right? He's helped me with X, Y, Z. So
Excellent.
see, that's the biggest thing.
Excellent. And your links will be in the description here when we share this episode too. So I have one more question for you though, Dr. Sean.
Yeah.
When someone is facing the idea of I want to try out something different, beyond the standard doctor's office, how do you maybe the phrase is calm the overwhelm for people who are looking into various holistic options? Like how do you bring someone into your practice for the first time who doesn't know exactly what to ask for?
So again, and it can be overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
Because most people, when you say qigong or you say this, like they don't really necessarily know anything. But like, what is acupuncture? If you never had it done, you're
Right.
like, oh, I'm scared of needles or this or that. So, and our staff, everyone here is so educated. And the main thing here, everyone in this office, they're all in the field. They're getting treatments. They're doing treatments. They're like, we love what we do, and we have to do it to feel our best. So we live by it, right? So to explain it to a person, there's all different. We try to get an understanding of, well, what is your health goals? Like, what are you experiencing? Is it pain? Is it low energy? Is it a sleep issue? And then we can kind of guide them because we don't want to because we do over 30 things here, and we have machines and modalities, and we have shockwave therapies and all. And it's like, wow, you can really overwhelm a person very quickly. So I try my best, and I go in 100 directions because my mind's always going, but we try our best to try to keep it simple. So the main thing, the biggest thing is if someone wants to have it as simple as possible, let's do a functional blood analysis. Let's look at all your labs in a functional way, see what's going on with you. If you want to get more comprehensive testing, now I do remotes around the world. I've done appointments in Africa and Japan and Turkey and Hungary and everywhere, in Jamaica, and I have patients that travel a lot, and I do telehealth, and it doesn't matter where a person is in the world, I will get them better. I will work at helping them achieve their health, right? So that's all available. But if someone is local, there's more testing that we can do in the office. We do a lot. We're heavy on the nervous system to see what's going on because most people, right, they live this chaotic lifestyle. They're in the sympathetic mode. And when parasympathetic, which is the other part, right, of the autonomic nervous system, that's your rest and digest. How many people do you know that have digestion problems? How many people do you know that have sleep issues? How many people do you know that have fatigue problems or high cortisol, or they're having like weight issues around this midsection? That's generally stress response. That's overproduction of adrenaline and imbalanced cortisol, right? So we work on all of that, right? So we can get a person, we talk to them, we find out kind of, well, what is it you want to focus on, and we give them options. Some people come in, they just do acupuncture, and that's all they do, and they feel better. Some people only want to come in for pain. So even though in my mind, a person might come in and I can see there's 20 things wrong with them, I also will support what they want. If they come in and say, I have a bad knee and that's all I want to fix, I don't care about my cholesterol. I mean, in my mind, like, oh, why don't you want to fix all that? But I support them. Fine, we'll get your knee better, and that's fine. But some people come in, they're like, I want to prevent heart disease. What things can I do to prevent cancer, right? There's research in all this, right? If we get the carcinogens out of the diet and the carcinogenic foods out and the GMOs and the pesticides and we detox that liver, there's so many things that can be done. And there are a lot of natural healing remedies these days that do work, right? And obviously they're not going to be on television. You're going to get the other commercials for that, right? But there's so much a person can do. But we guide them. We present them with what we feel is best for them. But people will come in, they're like, yeah, I want to try this or that. And what happens a lot of times, people will come in for one service and then they're ready. Like, you know what? I really want to take a deeper dive into my nutrition. I want to eat better. I want to feel better after they've been getting acupuncture for a few months. Or it goes the other way. They come in for nutrition, like, you know what? I want to try some acupuncture
Yeah.
for stress relief and all these other things it's good for. It's good for, we do infertility treatments. We do so many things.
Ah,
So we do
that's
our best.
incredible. Yeah, it's
Thank
amazing just about the how many aspects you cover within your practice. And I love that you kept saying there are other things to look for, or there are other ways to try, and there are other solutions out there, and just to keep looking. I think that is such great reminder for people too, that just to keep looking for other solutions and to see what else we could be doing to help our bodies, because like you've been saying, it's multifaceted, and it's body, mind, spirit, it's all of it. So I can't thank you enough for what you're doing for people there at your practice, but also in doing things like this today and speaking out and sharing the information with others to remind that there are these modalities out there.
I appreciate being here, and I'm so glad that you experienced, your own healing, and it's amazing. I just can't say, personally, I relate a lot to patients because a lot of people come and they're suffering, right? They're suffering. People suffer from pain and depression, mental health is such a big issue in our country and around the world. There's just, there's just so many avenues a person can go down, and unfortunately, a lot of people get pulled into these pharmaceuticals that there's really no way out, and the quality of their life might be a little bit better, but long term, there's consequences, and most of the time, they're still not feeling, they're not at their potential, right? They're not living that life that they could be. Like when you're eating right for your body, and I'm going off on tangents here, but I just got done a 5-day water fast. I feel so good. You were
Wow.
like, when you didn't eat any food for 5 days, and I'm like, no,
Wow.
I no food
Wow.
for 5 days.
Wow. See, I'm
Pretty much.
telling you, I could talk to you for hours about this. I want to ask a million questions just about that.
Here,
Okay,
so
Dr. Sean, I know I have to stop right now. I know I have to say goodbye. I cannot thank you enough, and I really hope. I wish you were closer to me. You're quite a distance, but one of these days I want to come to your practice and just ask you a million more questions
we can
because
also
it's
do it. Like I said,
fascinating.
I can do a
Write a
function.
book, okay? Write a book.
I do have a bunch of books I'm finishing, so we'll talk about it. But we do,
Excellent.
like I said, I can do a functional blood analysis anywhere in the world where I look deep, and it's about 60 pages. You get a report from me. I look at your blood work. I go through every marker. I'll go over your hormones and thyroid panels, iron levels, cortisol, stress chemicals, your immune system. We look deep at your white blood cells, red blood cells. It's so advanced, what we look at, but that's something I can do for anyone no matter where they are. And they don't have to do a program with me. We can, that's something someone can do, and we give that to them, and they can fix it on their own, or I can give them the guidance on it. So it's totally optional.
Beautiful. Thank you for all this information today, and what you and your team continue to do every day.
I appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing, getting that message out on people that do what I do.
Thanks, Dr. Sean.